Heads up if you're along the Texas or Louisiana coast, the National Hurricane Center is now monitoring a disturbance located just off the eastern coast of Florida for possible tropical development as it moves into the northern Gulf. I'm meteorologist Jake Lambright, an actual broadcast meteorologist, and today I want to talk a little bit about this area that's being highlighted for possible tropical development, and of course, talk about how likely it is that we actually see development, and also some other potential areas to watch in the tropics as we go through the next couple of days to next week or so. Here's a look right now at satellite imagery over, again, the eastern coast of Florida, even the northern Gulf. And you'll notice the highlighted area here, that yellow oval that the Hurricane Center has officially tagged. There's not really anything going on right now. And that's because here's where the actual disturbance is located. And that will be moving off across the state of Florida and eventually into the Gulf. Now, with that said, I do think that our chances of tropical development will likely stay on the lower side. This is a very messy and disorganized system, very similar to what we saw with 93L just a couple of weeks ago. As a result, the Hurricane Center also thinks the same thing, and they're keeping tropical development chances very low, not just for the next 48 hours, for the next 7 days as well, keeping it at about a 10% chance for both at this time. So that'll be something to keep a very close eye on as we go through the next 7 days. But again, for now, it does appear that that chance for tropical formation is going to stay pretty low. I do want to head over to a site real quick. This is called weathernerds.org, and this can show us the tracks that those ensemble models are kind of painting for any potential tropical systems. And you may be wondering, what is an ensemble model? So you may have heard of the American model, the European model, and when we show those products to you on air, that's one model run one time. What these ensemble models do is it runs that model about 25 to 30 times under slightly different atmospheric conditions each time. And therefore, there are some slightly different results. And that'll give us a better idea of what's more likely instead of one model run that could be really extreme or really underperforming. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust things here. Our forecast hours will go out about 120 hours from now. And you will notice there, I'm going to kind of circle it there with my mouse cursor. It's trying to pick up on a little something there over in the Gulf. Models last week were also picking up on, even to the point when we knew that 93L wasn't going to have a great window to develop. Models were still going very aggressive, thinking there would be a tropical depression or something there. So something to keep in mind. You'll see those model images out there showing even these ensembles really starting to hone in on the potential for a tropical depression. But again, it's just model data. That's why us meteorologists really have to go beyond the model data and use our meteorological knowledge to really paint a better picture for that forecast, more accurate picture. Because again, models do very good sometimes, but they're not everything. Another area to note is going to be out here in the Atlantic. There's another wave that could potentially develop into something, but with that said, we're still pretty far out and a lot can change with that forecast. But we are starting to enter toward the back half of hurricane season, and for us in the Gulf especially, that's when things do typically get a little more active. We'll take a look here at the European ensembles as well. They're also picking up there on something in the Gulf. A few ensemble members showing maybe even getting close to that tropical storm level. Most of them, though, showing staying tropical depression or below. And like I said, sometimes these models get a little aggressive in painting organization and development. Similar to 93L, we're really just going to have to wait and see when this disturbance crosses over the state of Florida, where it kind of lands in the Gulf, and how much time it's going to have to actually attempt to organize into something. From there, we can kind of tell a little bit better if the chances are higher of seeing tropical development or not. For now, I'm leaning toward no, but again, we've got to wait on that disturbance to move over land and get back out into the Gulf before we can really get a better idea with that forecast. Similarly, the European model also picking up on that wave I was talking about out there in the Atlantic, but of course, that's way far off from now. This ends on Sunday. These are basically model data from now, Tuesday, July 22nd through Sunday, July 27th. And even then, that's all the way out here. So that would still take several days to be an area of potential interest if we see anything develop and if that continues to track on the way, of course. So that's a quick look at what's going on in the tropics. Of course, I'll be taking a more in-depth look at the forecast tomorrow. And for those in central Louisiana, I'll have more details on that tomorrow over on KALB. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me and make sure that you're following and subscribed for future updates.